Hello, everybody. Welcome to one more exciting session in the series AWS Bootcamp. In this particular session, we will see how to create an S3 bucket and how to encrypt the objects by using server-side encryption by S3 managed keys, which is default and free. And we'll also see how to encrypt objects by using server-side encryption by using a service called as KMS. That is what we are going to look into this lecture. Let me flip to my AWS account. All right, this is my AWS account. First of all, let me go ahead and create one S3 bucket. Now select this option, create an S3 bucket. I'll give a name demo for encryption. All right, now I'm scrolling down. I'll see an option here, default encryption. It is disabled. Let me enable this option. So as soon as I enable, it is asking me this encryption key is that should be managed by SSE-S3 or SSE-KMS. And there is also one more, right? That is customer managed server side encryption. So if you want to use that, we have to either use a AWS CLI or AWS SDK or any of the REST APIs. Now I'm going to give Amazon S3 managed keys, and later we'll upload the one object. We will try to change the encryption key to SSE KMS. Then we'll understand. All right. So by default, as of now, I have enabled Amazon S3 managed keys S3 encryption. Now create a bucket. Now a bucket is created. Now you see this is the bucket. There is no object in this. Now let me upload a file to this bucket. Add files. Okay, if you see here again properties, you can mention the property of what should be the storage class of this object and server side encryption. It is saying do not specify an encryption key or specify an encryption key. If I select this option, it is saying override bucket settings of default encryption. No, I don't want to do that. I want to use a bucket settings for default encryption, and the encryption key type, you can see that it is SSE-S3. All right, and then select option upload. Now go and close this. Now go to this object. Now we can see the default encryption enabled and the encryption key type is Amazon S3 managed keys. Okay, now let's say I want to change this encryption. Select option edit. Okay, now I want the encryption key that is managed by a service called as KMS, that is server side encryption by using keys from KMS. Now let me select this option. Then it will ask, you want AWS KMS to manage the keys. So choose from the AWS keys if we have one. Okay, let's say choose from AWS keys. Now if you don't have a key, we can go ahead and create that. Now let me create a key for you guys. I already have a couple of keys, but let me create a new key. Select this option, create a KMS key. So this is an encryption key that we are creating. So you can select whether this key to be symmetric or asymmetric. An asymmetric is a public and private key pair used for encrypting and decrypting data or signing and verifying messages. Okay, I don't want that. I want to use a symmetric key. Okay, and encrypt and decrypt. The key can do the encryption and decryption and give a name. I'll say demo key is the name of the encryption key that I'm creating, and select option next. Okay, and define key permissions. Okay, I'm giving a policy that I have created. Okay, or else you can create whatever permissions that key should get. Next, what is the path of this key? Next. And then you see the permissions, whatever permissions that we select here, it will display here. And these are all the things that with the help of this key we can do. And click on finish. So that is a policy, key policy. Okay, now the key is created. Now let me go here and refresh the screen. I hope you'll be able to see the demo key that we have created and save changes. So basically now I have used an encryption key called as encryption key managed by a service called as KMS. Where is that? If you see, the encryption key type now is KMS. This is how we can use these two encryptions. One is SSE-S3, which is server-side encryption. Uh, the key is managed by S3. And the second one is server-side encryption. The key is managed by KMS. And out of this, which is free, server-side encryption SSE-S3 is free, KMS is charged. Now, if you want to use a client-side encryption, you have to use a CLI or any of the SDKs or REST APIs to establish that. That is how you can configure encryption on AWS S3 objects. Right? I suggest you guys to see the document that is provided with you guys and do this hands-on exercise so that you guys would be confident in configuring encryption for AWS S3 objects. Thank you very much. You guys have a good time.